Hello, my name is Jared Krebs. I'm pictured here with my wife Crystal and our dog Tasia. We're Emerald Directors, co founders of Team DSI, and today's training features a very special guest, Executive Diamond Director Andrea Equihua, who is a dear friend of mine, somebody that I've known for 10 years in USANA. I originally met Andrea actually on a trip to Ireland that we both qualified for. At the time, she was a silver director and she was learning about how to build a successful USANA business. And apparently, she learned really, really well because after that, she quickly advanced to gold director, followed by ruby director. A couple years later, followed by emerald director. A couple years later, followed by diamond director, and now she's an executive diamond director. For those of you who don't know exactly what that means that her business is producing $200,000 a year income for her and her family. It's an awesome rank. She's one of the top associates in the company. She's also a mother of two. She has built her business while raising her two boys who are, I think, 10 and 7. I'm not sure on the ages there, but Andrea, thank you for being on this webinar. Thank you for making the time. I know you're on a vacation right now, traveling around the world. I know you're calling in from Kathmandu, which is in Nepal on the other side of the world. It's like 8 in the morning over there, while it's 8 in the evening over here. But we really appreciate you. Thank you so much for taking time to support your USANA family. And we want to hear your story. You know, we want to hear what it was like when you started your business. What were the things you had to overcome? What was your life like prior to USANA? So really, the floor is yours. We want to hear. We want to hear from the beginning. You know, you have a good 20 minutes to kind of get into this. I can ask you questions in between, but we have a line full of people that are excited to hear your story. So take it away and welcome to the call.
Thank you, Jared. Thank you very much for inviting me. Yes, I am in the other side of the world. This is Kathmandu in Nepal. We are in a 3-month trip, a family trip, where we are visiting new places in Asia. And this is a very intentional trip. We have been planning this for a couple of years and just working towards it. I'll tell you my story so you can connect and understand why we are here after 10 years of building this amazing opportunity in USANA. Exactly 10 years ago, it was, October 2006 when I learned about the products. And really, it was just about the products because I was right there just studying my PhD. I was very blessed. My parents were very interested in me going to school, so I went to the university. That's how we call it in Mexico. I am actually from Mexico, and I'm an electronic systems engineer. That's what I studied, and then I went for a master's degree in an MBA, and in the middle of a PhD, I became a mom. I was studying my PhD in education, and Emilio was born. He's 12 now, and 10 years ago, Mateo was born. So they're 10 and 12. I was not interested in building a business, or that's what I thought, because our life was pretty good. I was living in Mexico in a beautiful house, beautiful cars, and to the traditional life, we were good. My husband is very corporate, and he's a very successful corporate man. He has a beautiful career in a Fortune 500 company. So I thought I didn't need anything. So when I learned about USANA, it was only about the products, or that's what I thought. One of my kids, Mateo, he was 5 months old when I started, and he was a little bit sick. My nutritionist recommended me the products, and I thought I was only going to be using the essentials for a while. But the truth is that I was a preferred customer that bought 500 points at the time because I just wanted more and more products. I didn't know that I was going to be building the business. The business opportunity in Mexico was very young. USANA had been in Mexico only for a couple of years. So there were no leaders or training systems to learn from. So I thought I was going to to use the product only, but I started learning about the USANA's information. I started reading the BDS, and I got intrigued. My sponsor, he's a very good friend of mine, but we were learning together. It's not that we had a very good leader to teach us anything. So after 6 months, I I hit silver director just because I was in love with the products and I was very enthusiastic about sharing them, but I didn't know exactly what to do or how to manage a team or how to be a leader at all. I didn't have the business in my mind until I went to my first convention. That's why what Jared's saying about attending events is so important, because at that first convention it was 2007. That was my first convention. My heart saw. It's not that my eyes saw anything. My heart saw something. I was very fortunate to be with my husband at that time, whom I was begging for his support. That's the truth at the beginning. So he accepted to come to the convention, and after just looking at what we saw in that convention, we were amazed, and he, like, I said this in the quote, authorized me to go ahead and try to make it work. But the truth is that I came back to Mexico after that convention, and I didn't know how to. I knew why. Like, my heart started beating, and I started seeing several things that I was not trained for when I went all these years to school. But I wanted it. It was just hunger and thirst. So I was looking for trainings, and I found that in San Antonio, Texas, they had a very good training. It was a very incredible team that you had, Jared, at that time, with many diamonds also that were there. So I came to the U.S. for my first training in January 2008. There was a beautiful team there. I could see all these people that were real, because I from Mexico, all the people in the newspaper for me were only people that could be, invented or not real, I would say. But coming to the U.S. and seeing all those diamonds that appeared in the newspaper, in the Health and Freedom newspaper, for me was a major thing, because I started believing more in the company. So without knowing, I was building this belief in the 4 pillars we teach, that it's the products, the company, the industry, and obviously I needed to build my belief in myself. So after that training in January 2008, the truth is that was my first business training. And from there, I became a gold director in the next 4 months. So by April 2008, I was a gold director. I understood what was it about. It's not that I was a good leader at all, but I was just starting to develop myself, starting to develop my skills in this industry. I didn't quite have a mentor, so what I decided was I was all my notes from this first training, all my books, the dead people like Jim Brown were my trainers, right? Because that's what we need when you don't have a personal trainer in the business. You just need to look for one. So that's what I did. I started investing in myself, as Jared mentioned, that we all have DMO. Of course, we do have a daily method of operation, and that includes personal development. And for me, that has been the key to keep on going, because there have been many times where I don't want to keep on going, especially the first 2 years when I faced many challenges of not knowing what I was doing. So investing in myself has been key. So I'm really into the phrase of USANA being a program of personal development attached to a compensation plan. So for me, that's a mantra. I just go and invest in myself. I read a lot. I listen to many CDs and audios, so I can keep myself motivated, on fire, and just learning more. Because now I understand that I need to add more value every time I speak with someone, and to my team. So that year, 2008, it was when I had the fortune to meet Jared. Well, I met him at the training, but he doesn't. He doesn't recall that one because I was literally starting in the business. But we went to Ireland together, and that was a major thing again. It was a beautiful incentive where USANA recognized the effort of each of the people that were there. That was 2008. That was the first time I was to growth 25, and from there I just decided to keep on growing. So I've been growth 100 for the last 8 years, and just because I have been very intentional about being building the business, and what Jared shared about the daily method of operation, this is just what we keep on doing. It's mastering the basics and having a plan. What I teach is about just making the decision of where you want to take this business, then design a plan. We talk a lot about designing a plan because you do have to have it on paper to know where you're going. And then the third D would be discipline yourself, because you need to have the discipline. Many people say, I'm not disciplined to do anything from home. Well, if you want to make this business work, you have to be as disciplined as you can. It's not a hard business. It's a very simple business, but it's not easy. So what we need to do is just be very focused and keep on having this plan. After hitting Gold Director, obviously my life was not solved. I thought that $1,000 a week was okay for me. I mean, that was a major thing in my life because I had never earned that money. So my financial thermostat was there, but I had to change. So all this personal development helped me to change my financial thermostat and go for more. I thought I was going to be a gold director the rest of my life. I have to be honest about this. But the truth is that when you start growing, your dreams grow with you, right? Obviously, your business is growing, and you start thinking about new things, about new possibilities. That's when I just planned to keep on going. But my gold business, or my gold status, stayed there for 3 years. I was not like super rookie, super strong, and just kept on going through the ranks, because for me it took like 3 years to develop myself, to develop into the leader I had to be, so I could go to the next level, and that was Ruby. I hit Ruby after going to the States, because as I told you, my husband had been very successful at the company he was working for in Mexico. So he got a promotion, and we were transferred to the US in 2011. So I hit Gold in 2008. We were transferred to the US in 2011. And obviously, I had a very nice income from USANA, but as I told you, I started learning that I really wanted and could have more, and could do more, and could bless more lives through this business. So I went to the US. We did have very nice residual income, but just my team started working super good without me, and that was another blessing. Sometimes we think we are just like the main piece of something, but as this team, the name is beautiful. Just when you have the word duplicate in your team, that's what happened to me. The team started duplicating, and I was not there anymore. So I hit Ruby like 4 months after I went to the US, just because the team was working by themselves, and I kept on growing in the US. So I hit Ruby in 2012, just enjoying not only the pleasure of being a mom, but having the satisfaction of being professionally active, and with this opportunity of blessing other people's lives, even from far away. I didn't have to be present all the time with my team to make this work. So I kept on going through Emerald, and that's an amazing rank. That's a very good rank. But Diamond was always in my sight. Challenges have been there on the way all the time. Yes. At the beginning, as everyone, I didn't like rejection. I didn't know how to handle it. Some weeks I thought it was not worth it because it was a lot of work and not too many results. But this is a business that requires your understanding of long-term gratification. So you grow a lot in that sense. You mature, and that's another thing we teach. This is not an instant gratification business, but it's worth it. It's totally worth it. On my career or my journey in USANA, hitting Diamond Director was linked with hitting the $1 million club, and I remember in my gold retreat 8 years ago when I went, there was $1 million earner that said, USANA is going to pay you $1 million in 10 years, in more or less 10 years, and it's going to be worth it. I thought it was a long time, but the truth is that if I had stayed doing what I was doing before, even with my PhD, I was trying to become a dean at a university in Mexico. Even if I had stayed doing that, I wouldn't have hit $1 million in a lifetime. So I hit that when I became an Diamond Director after 8 years of building the business, and it's just another mindset. You keep on thinking different. You keep on dreaming different things, and there's when I started thinking about just taking a sabbatical year with my family. I wanted to retire my husband. And of course, when I asked him about leaving his work and just doing a 3 or 6 month trip around the world, he thought I was crazy again. As when I told him that I was going to build a business, obviously, but I kept on asking him to do it, and not pushing, but just I wanted to show him that this could be possible. For him, as a man and as a financial mind, for him was very important to have the numbers very clear. So my question to convince him was, how much do we have to earn a week for you to consider retiring? So he gave a number, and I worked towards it. That was my motivation. That was my goal. So when he said we need X amount of dollars coming a week, I went and got them. Because my dream was to have this time with my family, to be away, to just enjoy my kids right now that they are 10 and 12 in middle school, elementary and middle school, and because I thought that it was not going to be possible after they were older. So when I hit the number that Salvador mentioned, I came back to him and I said, you know what, this is coming. It's going to be residual. Please just reconsider. So we started planning. He said yes. We started planning, but this trip required Salvador to leave his company in order for him to be able to have the time to be here. So last year, Salvador started just planning his retirement. Well, not his retirement maybe, but his leaving the company he was working for. And December 31st of 2016, 2 months ago, was his last day in the company he had worked for 21 years. So for anyone in the corporate world, this might be like a crazy idea, but the truth is that he went through it. Obviously, it was not an easy decision, but it has been an awesome decision. It has been just an opportunity for us as a family to reinvent ourselves, for him to reinvent and repurpose his life. And we are in these 3 months traveling the world. We are enjoying our kids. We are doing what we started calling homeschooling, but it's not homeschooling anymore. It's just travel school because we have been in 12 different countries by now, and we have 4 more to go. And it's just being truly a blessing, amazing, and something I would totally recommend to any family raising kids in right now in this moment. If any young couple that might have kids in the future, having the opportunity to enjoy them, to truly see the world with them, it's very good. So this is just this journey has been a combination of challenges and satisfactions, and the years to come. Obviously, I'm not staying in Diamond only or executive Diamond. We do have a plan to keep on going through the ranks, and not because we need more money or we need more ranks or we need more pins. It's just because we understand that USANA, it's an opportunity to change other people's lives, and we are committed to do that. We feel responsible to share this information. We feel that it would be very selfish not to do it. So we're totally committed, and USANA is in our heart. It's in our life. It's our lifestyle. It's not just pills that we swallow or shakes that we drink. It's really the way we live. USANA has shaped our life, and it's also has been the way we have been able to be a blessing to other people, not only with our time, with our knowledge, but with our money too, because we have the opportunity to bless our church, our many groups and many foundations today around the world, and especially through the True Health Foundation. And that's something that has filled our hearts, because the truth is that we didn't do it this much before having the income we have. So, this is what I've got, Jared. I don't know if you want to ask some questions. Thank you very much for the invitation. I really felt very honored, and hopefully this worked. I'm sorry for not having the internet connection, but Kathmandu has been challenging.
Andrea, thank you so much. I love what you had to say. I really, what stood out to me was when you said you are committed to sharing USANA, even though you're already doing really amazing financially, that it's more than just pills that you take. It's more than just, the products. It's about changing people's lives, and you're committed to that. And that's really inspiring. I think everybody on that call, on this webinar, can appreciate your heart. And, I just got done with a training that talked about the difference between being committed versus being attached. And it seems like when we're new, we're so attached to somebody signing up or attached to the result. But when you're committed, it's fun. When you're committed, it's okay. And there's joy. And you just said it naturally. You're committed. And it just comes through in your voice. It comes through in your actions. You've been a big inspiration to me and many, many other people. And thank you for being on this webinar tonight. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, Jared. Thank you for the invitation. Kiss to Crystal, and yes. Thank you very much, Randy and Viola, too.
Absolutely. Thank you, Randy and Viola Krebs, for doing the great editing work and producing of this webinar. Now, Andrea, do you mind if we do some announcements and then we bring you back for a few questions? I'm sure we have a line full of people that have questions. Is that okay?
Go ahead.
So, Andrea, this question comes from a new associate named Jared Harris, who's lighting it up. We're very proud of him and all the action he's been taking. He says, Andrea, how did your parents feel when starting this business with USANA?
Okay, that's a very interesting question, and a very good one too, Jared, because most of us, we don't have the support of family and friends when we start, and that's a reality. But the truth is that they don't understand what we are up to, what we're looking at. So, yes, my parents were not very proud, especially because I was studying the PhD. And when I understood what USANA was about, I left the PhD. I didn't finish it. So it was not a very good thing for my parents. They were not proud of me. They thought that I was dropping the PhD to sell vitamins. So it was not very good. But the truth is that if I had heard them, if I had stopped because they didn't believe or they didn't see what I was seeing, I wouldn't be here now. I kept on going. I kept on just having this resilience of just having, as Jess mentioned, like this attachment initially to my dream, to my vision, to what I had, to what I felt. It was a lot of heart at the beginning, until I needed to start having results. I was having results, but I was having fun. And starting the PhD, I was not having fun. So my parents, little by little, started looking at how I was enjoying this journey. Yes, it was challenging, but I was enjoying every satisfaction I was having on the way. Every learning, every new associate, every new preferred customer, every win I was having. So it was a couple of years of me asking for the respect at the beginning, and then just having the result in my hand and showing how this worked and how this could be an option for everyone. Today, my parents are executive goal directors. My brother is an executive goal director. My sister is an emerald director. So this is a family business now. This is after 10 years. Obviously, we have had several conversations along the way, but it has been, again, worth it.
Wow, that's a great story. I know that we've all had challenges with family members, and sounds like creating results is the best way to win them over.
It was for me. I think it is.
That's awesome. All right, next question we have here is from Lorena Galdiano, who just had her first promotion, by the way. And she says, what are the best Spanish videos that worked for you that help you convince people of the USANA product?
Okay, Lorena. I think, well, I still use mine. And you can totally say, you know this person because I'm sure we're going to meet. Yes. I'll be there in San Antonio in April the 1st. And you can totally refer to me as someone, maybe we don't know each other right now, but you know my story. You know, you've been here, you asked the question, I've answered it directly to you. You can totally use it, and we can all refer to that. We're part of a family. So in any way that I can be of help, even if you need to put me in a three-way call, I could totally do it. That's a very good video. That's a USANA production. So it's not only my video. It's very professional to explain the business. Though also that this is USANA video that has the subtitles is a very good one because it has all these different profiles and keep on using the company videos. The compensation plan in Spanish is good, and all the product videos that USANA has produced. They're also good to depending on which prospect you have, you start just feeding him with short videos and just following up with them or with the next one. Okay?
Awesome. Thank you, Andrea. All right. Next question is from Claudia Zacharias. In Poteet, Texas, Claudia asks, what is the approach you use most often when prospecting?
Well, now that all my warm market knows what I do, the approach for meeting new people, it's the same that we have been taught in other conversation. I use the form: family, occupation, recreation, and message. I really need to know the person first before knowing if USANA is for them in that specific time of their life, before throwing it to them. And it's not that we're throwing it. We just want to know if USANA is a solution for any need that they have right now in their lives. So again, it's just a matter of connecting with the person through questions, knowing what is going in their life, what do they need, want, and just trying to give USANA as a gift all the time. So the approach is not only inviting to the presentation, but to knowing the person first. It's just prospecting and knowing people.
Well said, Andrea. Thank you for answering that. I know that Claudia asked that because she was actually prospecting with me last week, and she kind of saw how I did it, and you just answered it perfectly. That's exactly what we did that day at HEB, so thank you for that. All right.
You're very welcome.
We have a question from Victor Soto. How about that? Go ahead, Dad.
Yeah, it was actually a comment. And first of all, thank you, Andrea, for sharing your story with our team. Very inspiring. I actually even learned a little bit more about your career with USANA. So again, thank you. Victor come across and says, tell Andrea we miss her so much. That was his only comment. So your team here in Utah definitely loves and misses you.
I know, thank you. Victor, for people from Venezuela, Victor is my panita. That's the way you say friend in Venezuela. And yes, Victor is one of my top associates in the organization. It's my friend, and it's part of my family. I always stay in Salt Lake City at his house with his wife there, and we enjoy the time together. She makes amazing arepas. That's the Venezuelan food, and it's a dish. And maybe I can take this opportunity to share how USANA is not just about sharing the products, having associates, having partners, and going to business meetings. The relationship I have with Victor, for example, we're truly friends. We miss each other. We like working together, but we like also spending time together. And I know this business opportunity is going to have us traveling together, having our families grow together, and it's going to be an amazing journey the rest of our lives together.
Wow, well put. That is such a true benefit of the USANA business is the relationships, and they definitely become more than business partnerships. It's all a family. Absolutely.
This is Viola Krebs. Hi, Andrea. I just want to say thank you so much. We really appreciate you taking time out in the middle of your trip and being so generous with our team. I just wanted to applaud Victor Soto. I know he's been working with you, and so we get to see you when you come out and attend some of your presentations. And I know that it's such a family. I ran into Victor at the airport one day, and he gave me a ride home because I didn't have one. I was at the airport without a ride. So the USANA family is just a blessing, huge blessing. And I just really appreciate you, Andrea, as well. And I just have enjoyed getting to know you, and I call you a friend as well.
Awesome.
Thank you, Viola. Thank you so much for sharing. I will add that leadership is not only within our organization, with people in our organization or in our team. As you said, Jared, the friendship we do have, I mean, since we met, it's amazing. I know I can go to San Antonio and see you and Crystal anytime, go to Salt Lake City and give a ring to Rand and Viola. It's amazing how close we can be, even if we are not part of the same team. I'm so glad that we could do this together to have a stronger USANA, to have a stronger United States, USANA United States, right?
Absolutely.
So thank you so much, Jared and Michael and Viola and Randy, for inviting me. I really appreciate it. I love you guys. Thank you.
We love you too.
Well, I had a question about prospecting, but she already answered that. I missed for the form. What was the last part? FORM. What did the M stand for?
The M is normally taught as money, but we like to teach it as message, because if you don't find a reason to invite anyone to USANA, maybe you want to talk about the money. So we want to teach that we send a message on what regarding family, occupation, and recreation. Okay, so sometimes we feel it's rude to go directly into the money, but the message can be also, of course, about money, but we take that M for 1%.
Got it. Okay,
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you, Stacy.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go for our last question. See here, I have a 210-875 number. I'm not sure who this is. I just unmuted you. 210-875.
That's actually me, Denise Garcia.
Oh, Denise. Awesome, Denise. What was the highlight for you on the webinar tonight?
Well, I think that one of the things that Andrea mentioned about having a goal, she set herself a goal. You know, her husband was working. She wanted to travel. She said, what do we need in order to make this happen? And he gave her a number. She made it happen. You know, she had a vision. She had set a goal, and she made it happen. More and more that I listen to people's stories that are involved with USANA, I hear that they can do it. I mean, it happens every day, you know, so it makes me believe that I too can get there one day. You know, so that was a big highlight for me.
I think that's the best highlight of the night, because when you believe you can do it, nothing can stop you.
Right. Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, thank you for sharing. We're out of time now. I want to end on time, respect everybody's time. But Andrea, thank you again for making time for us in the early morning of Kathmandu in Nepal. We're following you on Facebook. We love seeing all your pictures. Keep it up. And do you have any last message for the team before we end?
Thank you, Jared. My only message would be, especially for the newcomers, for the new ones in the business, you have enough leadership with the leaders that are in this call. You might know them directly, personally, but Jared, Crystal, Viola, and Randy are awesome leaders. Please just follow what they teach. At the beginning, you might not understand it, but they have walked the walk, and they're not only talking talk, right? Please don't take it for granted. What you have in this team as leadership is amazing. We had to go look for it somewhere else, but please, you enjoy what you've got and just use it for your benefit and for your team's benefit. Thank you, Jared, for the invitation again.
Awesome. Thank you, Andrea. Thank you for the nice edification at the end. We really appreciate it. We love you. We look forward to seeing you when you get back, especially in San Antonio at the April 1st celebration. And now we're going to unmute the lines. And everybody, when you get unmuted, just go ahead and say good night and God bless.